Grandma.
I call my grandmother
I
Gia.
call her Suki.
Grandma.
Yeah, grandma.
Grandma.
Nana. I think she thinks that like Granny is like kind of cute. Like I think that's her like Jenny from the Block like upgrade on Grandma.
So only my sister and I call my grandmother Gia.
It was like a Suki now, you know, so she's Suki to everybody.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart.
I haven't really heard her talk much about her life and her experience.
She instilled like mannerisms and being very poised and always putting your best foot forward.
Because my grandmother is really sure about who she is. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Grandmother Project presents Pearls and Pocketbooks, our monthly interactive webinar experience featuring Black grandmothers and granddaughters discussing love, life, and everything in between. I'm Melanie Brazil, and I am the creator of the Grandmother Project, an original 9-episode docuseries, which you just watched the trailer for, now available on YouTube. Simply go to youtube.com/The Grandmother Project and click subscribe. The link will be in the chat. We are back, y'all, with season 2 of Pearls and Pocketbooks. Last month, we chatted with grandmother Corinne Compton about her journey to confidence, her feature on Chicago's Windy City Live, and the lessons she's learned through parenting. If you missed that episode, simply go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/The Grandmother Project, and check out episode 10, Confidence. Tonight, we are chatting with a very special grandmother joining us from Houston, Texas, about what it means to have a heart to serve, the importance of connecting with family, and the lessons she's learning about being in service to herself as she continues to pour into others. Welcome to Pearls and Pocketbooks, episode 11, Heart. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to this evening's guest. Shelly Hill was born in Fayetteville, North Carolina, but recently relocated to Houston, Texas. She has worked as a compliance specialist and taught special education for 27 years. She is the proud mother of 3 beautiful daughters and grandmother to one amazing 3-year-old grandson who she is currently raising. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Ms. Shelly Hill. Ms. Hill, thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Me too. So, you know, this episode is entitled Heart because when I was chatting with you leading up to today, that's the theme that kept coming up for me. You have this open spirit, this big heart, and I know I wanted to know more. So can you take us back to the beginning? What was it like for you growing up? Have you always been this open and beautiful?
Actually, thank you very much. I can say yes, I have. I've always been this open, this bubbly type of personality. It was important growing up in Fayetteville. My mother raised me by herself, and she instilled in me the about personality. Personality is what sells you. So I had to, come out of my shell of being this timid little girl at first and become this bubbly personality. So I must take my hat off to her for putting that in me, because I feel like now I can sell myself to anyone. Sell your soul to the devil, except I don't want to do that part.
Yes, and that's beautiful. You talked about that you were born in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Tell us more about that. Do you have siblings? What was it like growing up, you and your mom? What was it like growing up in Fayetteville?
I'm an only child. However, I do have a brother, but we was not raised together. So I say I'm an only child. I had an amazing childhood. Unfortunately, I didn't grow up around a lot of family. It was just me and my mother. But I still had an amazing childhood. Her friends became like my aunts, and their children became my cousins. So, the play cousin type of thing became real for me. And that's who I call my family. But my childhood, I grew up in a low income apartment. For 14 years, we stayed there until my mom could afford to move us to something better. But the apartment was like low income on the outside, but I felt like it was a mansion on the inside. It was just like perfect. I mean, there was no other way to say it. I had my own room, my own toys, but growing up as an only child, you only children, research has shown only children don't have only children. So it was lonely because I didn't have the civilly rivalry, but I had all my mother's attention. Mm-hmm. So that was good in a nutshell, but I missed fighting, sharing, not wanting to share. So I did miss that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you talked about that and you said, but it still felt like you had everything that you needed, and growing up in Fayetteville, this sort of sense of community. I think you've sort of hinted at it, but can you tell us about who your biggest role model was? So back then, who did you look up to?
For me, it was my mother. She is someone that I was striving all my life to become. I felt like she was perfect, where other students or other kids or kids that I was growing up with, they looked up to this person and that person. They were all celebrities, but my celebrity was my mother. She was everything I wanted to be. Even, she passed away almost 3 years ago. I am still trying to be the woman she wanted and worked so hard for me to become. So I make a move and talk to her to see if I'm doing the right thing. Of course, God is number one, but beside God, I always swore she sat right beside him. So my mother continues to be my biggest idol.
Yes, and that's just, you said, you kind of hit it when you said that, there are people that look up to celebrities and these people that are outside, but for you had it right there, and so I know that had to have shaped, and it is shaping who you are. How do you think your experience of being an only child impacted you as an adult now and your decision to have kids?
Really, like I said, I wanted to have more than one child for the purpose of for them to have that bond and that connection. But I feel like my mother provided me with everything, and she molded me to be the mother that I wanted my children to have. She molded me to, and the thing about it is, I never moved out of my mother's house until I was 35 years of age. And one of the reasons was I wanted my children to grow up and get those same values that my mother instilled in me. I wanted them to experience a wonderful childhood like I did. And the only way I felt like they was gonna get that is being right up under the same roof with her. She taught me how to be the mother. She taught me, when I used to tell her I wanted all these kids, she said, "You're better than me." That pain, no ma'am. But I did. And she was so great that I named my first daughter after her.
Can you tell us, can you disclose the name? What was your mom's name?
My mother's name was Beverly. So my oldest daughter's name is Beverly as well, but we call her Brittany, but her first name is Beverly. And she loves to be called Beverly because of, I guess, my mother.
Yes, and that homage is powerful. You know, you often hear, grandsons and people that have sons doing that, but that's really powerful to be named after your grandmother. I have a cousin that's named after both of her grandmothers, and I think that is really, really beautiful. We actually have a slide of you and your daughters and your grandson that I would love to show, and we can point this out. Tell us about this picture. Do you remember where you were when you took this?
Unfortunately, it is at my mother's funeral. However, I have this picture. I had it put on a canvas, because it was so beautiful to me, where I get to actually visually see my daughters in their grown-up role. I just think we look so great together. We look happy, even though it was a sad occasion. And that's my grandson. At that time, I think he was 8 months. But yes, this photo is very, very memorable for me for two reasons. One, because of it's the first picture we are all together. My mother used to want us to do a portrait, and I was like, not me. But, at the time of her funeral, we took a picture, and voila, here it is. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. It really, really is. And it's nice to see you all together and to see, and the blue, was that significant?
No, the blue was not significant. I think my daughters chose that color. And because my mother doesn't like dark colors like black, so we went with a navy because it's easy to, coordinate with. And I just happened to have a light blue. Actually, now that I think about it, we did bury my mother in a light blue top and navy pants. So we all decided to wear the colors that she was in the casket wearing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It really is. And sometimes it's those gatherings that sort of bring us together as families, even though it makes we have those, and I think in our community too, we don't tend to, we're not wearing black. We're going to make sure that we are going to have a homegoing where we think about, good times and uplifting people. And I think that that's really powerful. So sort of keeping in line with that theme, we've talked about how important your mother has been in your life and continues to be. You also are a special education teacher. And that takes a very special person. You need a lot of patience to be an educator, right? And so, but I want to know, what is the most rewarding part of that job? Because I know it has its challenges, but what is the most rewarding part of teaching?
The most rewarding part is when you know that a child struggles academically, because that's what I teach, students who struggle academically. And you're teaching a concept, or you're in the classroom where they're learning different concepts that they struggled with. And finally, you see the light in their eyes come on because they finally get something, or they can finally do it on their own. Oh my God, that is the most rewarding thing there is. They're not your natural born children, but they become your children. You're always thinking of them. You're always hoping the best for them. So it is so rewarding when they are able to do just that.
Yes. We take our hats off to educators. I don't know where I would be without some of my teachers, really, because they do. And you all really, again, with this theme about the heart, you all love the students. It really, there is love there. It's not just a job. You know,
You're
I think that,
correct.
of course, I'm sure there are times when it is, but.
You are absolutely correct. All educators are not in for the money. We don't do this for the money. We do this because we care about the well-beings of children. And that's basically the bottom line. And that is not how I got into it, to be honest.
That's a good segue. So how did you get into it? What did you want to be growing up? And how did you find your way into special education?
Well, I originally wanted to be an OBGYN. And that was my mission when I left high school. I'm going to deliver babies. So I end up taking a subject called biology. And, the reproduction chapter, I learned if you do the experiment that you will produce a human being. And voila, I produced a human being. And knowing that I could not dedicate myself to the library time, the studying that it needed to occur for me to be that OBGYN, I changed my major. And because my mother worked at Fayetteville State University, she was like, okay, so now what are you going to do? And I was like, oh, I'm going to get a job I'm a major in criminal justice. No, you're not going to get a job. And my mother was very blunt. And I was like, okay, then I'm a major in psychology. And do what? And I was like, yeah. So after going through all these different majors, she said, what you can do is become a teacher. Not me, not today, not tomorrow, not next week. That's not going to happen. And she was like, think about it. If you want to change a major, that would be the best field to go in. So I end up changing my major to education, special education. And it has been rewarding for 27 years.
Wow, that is really something. Listen, you need those moms to be blunt sometimes and to kind of guide you. And so you actually sort of, it's almost like you didn't take that straightforward path, but look at how it turned out. That's amazing. And so you actually talked about, in connection to service, that as you sort of, your mom was already working at Fayetteville State, and sort of you had that connection, that also your daughters now have followed in a way in this field of service in your footsteps. Can you tell us a little bit about what they do?
Yes, each one of them are in the service field. I have Beverly. She is a middle school teacher. She teaches English. I have Renee. She is a paramedic in Raleigh, North Carolina. And then the baby girl, who is my grandson's mother, she is a 911 operator. So all of us have chosen the service field. And as a mother, that makes your heart just fill up with joy, because they too want to give back. They too see the importance of service and going to help the next person. Now, there are days where we be like, why did we choose this? Lord have mercy. But in the end, it is a rewarding field.
Yes. I know that everybody gets those times, but we thank you, each of you, for doing what you're doing, because these are so important. These positions and these gifts are so important. And, we were talking about this, you and I, a little bit earlier, about how important each one of these jobs are. we take them for granted. But teachers and paramedics and the 911 operators, those people, you all are really making this world go round. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So I want to make a bit of a segue because your cousin, we were linked because your cousin Nambi, shouts out to Nambi Kelly. I don't know if you're out there watching, but Nambi Kelly, for those of you that are watching, is a beautiful actress, playwright, screenwriter. I mean, the list goes on. She's simply an amazing multi-hyphenate. She actually connected us, but you were mentioning to me, you know, you grew up as an only child, that you didn't necessarily always know, you know, some of your family because it was just you and your mom in Fayetteville. So can you tell us the story? Tell us about how you were inspired to make these connections and reach out to your mom's family so that you and Nambi could now have the relationship that you have.
Yes, I think I was about 25. I was watching Oprah, and Oprah would connect families, long lost families. And I said, Mom, I'm gonna reconnect you with your family because my mother lost contact with her family. It was over 25 years. The last time that we had went to Chicago, I was 5, so I had to been about 30. But she just lost contact for some odd reason. But she had this old phone book that she never got rid of. And I said, I'm going to go through this phone book and I'm going to call somebody's going to keep the same number. And after trying this, that, and the third, of course, I did reach out to, she had one brother, and I called his job. She told me he worked at the public works place, and they unfortunately told me the bad news that he had passed away. And that devastated my mother. But I said, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna reach your family. So my mother had 3 other sisters. So right up under her, my mother is the oldest, and right up under her was my Aunt Carol. So Lord and behold, I reached Aunt Carol. And it spooked my Aunt Carol because I did not know at that time that they were told that we had died in a car wreck. So here I am saying on the phone, hi, Aunt Carol, this is your niece, Shelly. I'm Beverly's daughter. And Aunt Carol hung up on me. Of course, I can understand now why, but I think it had to have been 2 years later. Nambi called because I had left my number, and Nambi called and she said, hey, this is your cousin Nambi. And from there, the doors of communication opened. I took my mother up to Chicago. She had not been in 25 years. And we started from there. And it has been, we don't talk all the time, but just knowing that, you know, she's there is so important for me. You know, when she called it, when she texted me, I was sitting at my desk saying, hey, would you like, I gave your name. My friend is looking for an interesting grandma. And I was like, well, I'll do it, but I don't know how interesting I will be, but I'll be glad to do it. So, and that's how we connected.
Wow, that is an amazing, amazing story. And it's just the fact that you actually went on that journey after watching an episode, and the fact that you had the courage and the belief that you could, the faith, it had to have taken a lot of faith. And wow, to be able to make that connection. And now it seems like it brought healing and a lot of connection within your family after you did that, you know?
Well, I think it's important in our race that we connect and heal. It's important that we get over whatever caused the family to break up, whatever caused that. It's important that we talk about it because the next generation is watching. Even my mother's death, my middle daughter, Renee, put it on her Facebook page just, I want to say 2 days ago. She said, death, you always hear that death tear a family apart, where they start arguing over money, this, that, and a third. But she said, for me and my family, death has brought us closer. And we are now we do FaceTime videos. We talk a lot. We're trying to hash some things out that took us apart, because I know for a fact when I moved out of my mother's house, I moved with a boyfriend, and my daughters didn't come with me. And that kind of hurt them. It really, they felt like they was abandoned. And I now understand that. And it's okay that we address that. It's important that we address those feelings. It is okay to feel abandoned. It's okay for me to acknowledge that you felt abandoned, but it's also okay for you to understand that was never my purpose.
Yes.
And because of that understanding, that two people or multiple people can hear that and get out how they were feeling, now we can move forward. So I never, I told Nambi, going back to that, I told Nambi at my mother's funeral, I felt alone. I didn't have any cousins growing up. And, their answer to that was, you were never alone. You always had us. But we just was not connected. So even with my own children, I never abandoned you, but I understand you felt abandoned. Wow. And even for Tristan, who is my grandson, we have to show the next generation relationships, and how relationships can work or not work if people's prides or feelings stay as they are. So it's important that he understands that, hey, it's okay to say I'm sorry. It's okay to listen to someone. It's okay to build from today and go forward. So it's all about connection and building and going forward.
Yes. That is just so incredibly beautiful and so necessary and important, because as you said, families aren't perfect. So no one's family is perfect. And for us to build ourselves up as a community and to heal, it's going to take that type of courage, like what you did. You stepped out on faith, and now generations are reaping the benefit of that action. And now you're setting forth a new paradigm, so that your grandson is going to experience something better, something connected. And I just think that is so amazing. So amazing. And actually it's sort of a beautiful segue, because you mentioned that you are helping to raise your grandson. So, they say kids will help you see things with new eyes, and he's 3. So how has it been? What sort of perspective have you gained having this 3-year-old now sort of be your teacher, because kids are our teacher? So what has that been like, helping to raise him?
Sometimes in the back of my mind, I say, Lord, I know, why did I take on this? He has more energy than I'm willing to give. He is everywhere. This potty training thing. Am I crazy? But at the same time, I would do it over again. What happened with me raising, and I'm not permanently raising my 3-year-olds. It's important that I say that, because what happened was, his mother was living with my mother, and she's the one that found my mother in her bed, deceased. And I know, if it was me, I need time. So I think I owe it to her to give that time of healing, as well as finding herself after finding something so powerful that could, impact her life. Finding your grandmother deceased is something that can change your life forever. So when I decided to move to Houston, I presented the case to her. I said, "You're welcome." Actually, I told her and Renee that they were both welcome to move with me. But if they didn't want to come, I respect that because they're older and they can make their own decisions. But I also presented to a niece that if you don't want to come, Tristan, you can let Tristan come. And again, this sparked up a lot of emotions, conversations in the house. I told her, everyone's not going to be pleased with your decision. And of course they wasn't, but they supported whatever she decided because ultimately she is his mother. And I told her that if it's permanent, it's permanent. If it's temporary, it's temporary. At any given time, you want your son back, I have to let him come back because he is your child. And at the end of the day, she chose to send him on, which I was glad because I wasn't for sure Tristan needed me or did I need Tristan? And I think I needed Tristan for two reasons. One, because I'm still healing from my mom, so he keeps me busy. But two, Houston was not going to be ready for this grandma to be in this city by herself, unsupervised, single, fly, all that. So Houston was not going to be ready for me to be here by myself. So Tristan is actually my babysitter because every night there is something to do in this city and I will be doing it if I did not have Tristan. So he keeps his grandma, he babysits his grandma. Basically, he's raising grandma. But seriously, on another note, I have learned that, oh my God, children are wonderful. Having him through the COVID situation, you learn to appreciate the little things. You learn to appreciate him, just looking at him sometime. I just be like, oh my God, he is the most precious thing. Sometimes I look at him and I say, I can't believe your mama birthed something so beautiful, but she is like, we joke a lot in my family and I'll be like, Anise, how are you so ugly, but my grandson is so great? So we have a lot of jokes like that, but he is just so amazing and funny and he has her personality and she's awesome with having a mother and watching your children become mothers or doing things. It's just so rewarding. So I've learned a lot with Tristan. One is I don't have that energy.
Listen, a 3-year-old, it's just an endless well. And we've got a comment here when you were talking about being a fly. We've got one of our fans, Rita Mitchell says, yes, snaps all around. And you know what? That is, I love that. This is a perfect segue because, well, so we're going to ask a couple questions, but the first one is, like I said, Ms. Hill, I know you said I could call you Shelly, but the Grandmother Project, I got to have my respect. I don't want nobody getting on me. My mom and grandmother, they're watching this too. So they would definitely check me. But I will say, you have talked about so much about pouring into other people and the love and the work, and it is work. Love is a verb and that's work and that's an action and it's not always warm and fuzzy. Right? But how do you, so we've talked about all these other people, but now I want to focus it back on you. How do you refuel yourself after pouring into everybody else, the students, your family, everyone? How do you choose to refuel and pour into yourself?
Typically, when I was back home, I had the surroundings of all my girlfriends. So homecomings, we all basically attended the same HBCU, Fayetteville State. And homecomings, we'd get together. We would attend different kinds of events. I host different kinds of events where they would come over, wine parties, those types of things. I love to dance. So anytime I can get my groove on dancing on that dance floor, I'm like there trying to cut a rug. So that is basically how I refuel myself. Sometimes you have to have something stronger in your cup when you're out with your friends as well. You know, a good sip also helps to refuel or to ease your mind, so to say. So those are different things that I really, really enjoy doing. I think it's important that you continue to live. If COVID didn't teach us anything, it should have taught us that we need to live and love, relax, be with family, have a good time, because we are not promised tomorrow. You need to smile when you can smile, cry when you can cry, because we're just not promised tomorrow.
That's right. That is right. And we actually got a question. Well, is one of our viewers, Felicia, yes, Kaplan, hello, says, do you dance at home with your grandson?
I try my hardest to dance with Tristan, but we are in the 3-year-old temper tantrum. No. So we're big fans of Encanto, the movie, and our song is We Don't Talk About Bruno. And I was just playing that last night, and I tried to dance with him. He was like, no, I don't want to dance. No, stop dancing, Belmont. Stop dancing. Or Baby Shark. You can't do the moves, but he can do the moves. So yes, I try to dance with him, and I pray as he gets older and get out of this temper tantrum stage that he will be more willing to dance with his grandma, because that is something I want him to understand, that, you know, you can dance and have fun with your grandma.
I love that. So kind of staying in that same, you know, along those same lines, you know, society oftentimes has this image of grandmothers and older women in general, that once you hit a certain age, you know, you need to be at home knitting blankets, or you need to be, you know, there are these ideas, right, about women and aging. And I know even me as a, you know, I deal with that and like trying to embrace getting older. What advice, how have you embraced getting older, and what advice would you have to younger women about embracing their age?
Well, embrace it. It's going to happen. You're going to get older. That's just point blank, period. But you don't have to get older before it's time to get older. And even when you're older, you don't have to act like you're already dead. I'm not going to act as I'm already dead. I'm still living. I'm going to put on some heels, some tight jeans. I'm going to throw a little makeup on, a wig. And when it's time for me to step out, Tristan, as well as his mother, they're my daughters, knew Mama was getting ready to step out, because I'm going to show them to live. So enjoy your youth while you're young. Enjoy that gravity is up for you. And I think you understand what I mean, because when you get older, gravity goes down. So you have to put on girdles and shapers and all those things. So enjoy your youth while you have it. But when you become, as you age, still have fun, because life, again, as I said earlier, is short. If you become dead and gone before you're actually dead and gone, you'll live a miserable life. So, and misery loves company. So just don't get into that. Live and be happy. And I think that's the good thing about the millennials, that they will quit a job if they're unhappy. They're not going to stay at their job 5 years and they're not happy. So those are things we can learn from them, but at the same time, they have to learn to go to bed so that you can stay young looking. You need that sleep at night. But enjoy life. Just enjoy it. Do all that you want to do. See all that you want to see. But know there's a time and a place for everything.
Yes, yes, I love that. And I got to show this fly picture. Speaking of you stepping out, we have got a slide of you stepping out. Okay. Can you tell us about this picture? You look fabulous in this photo.
Thank you. So that was when me and my girlfriends were all going out. I don't know if it was a little concert or comedian type deal, but yes, I try to stay fly, young, try to buy glasses that are young. I think my daughters hurt my feelings one time. They was like, you look like a grandma with some glasses at, and I went on Vogue Me and ordered glasses that were younger looking so that I wouldn't look old. So yes, that's me that night. Feeling young and spry. Hopefully I'll find me a husband, but I ain't found him yet, so it's okay.
Well, with that picture, if you out there stepping out like that, I'm sure it won't be long, okay? We have got some somebody in the chat. We got a couple people in the chat. So you've got some fans here. You've got your friend Tiffany that says that they miss you. So I bet that's somebody from home. Shouts out to Tiffany. We got some suggestions. Our fan Felicia's like, yes, we're talking about your grandson. And, it's fun to watch shows together and that kind of thing. We don't have a picture. We did have that brief picture, Felicia, that showed Miss Hill with her family, but those are all the pictures that we have. But yes, and we got another person in the chat that said that let's see here, love to see your fashion. Yes, I love that. And I thank you for spreading that message, because I do think that for millennials and for younger people, that we we need to hear that it's okay to embrace our age, and we need to hear that from elders and from our moms and from those figures, that like, you can embrace this, you can age, and it doesn't have to be this thing of dread. It can be something that you embrace. And I really, really like that spirit. So here's a couple of other questions. I know we got your daughter in here. Yes. Oh, yes. You know what? I don't know that we're able to show. I'm not sure that we're able to show that picture, but thank you. And shouts out to Beverly. We've got Beverly in the building, named after her grandmother. Hello, Beverly. Yes, someone else. My aunt. Hello. Yes, family in the building today, says inspiring. You are truly inspiring. There's a couple other questions I want to ask you, and I think I kind of know maybe the answer, but maybe not. We talked about a lot of ups and downs, right? How have you kept your heart so open through the ups and downs? What has kept your spirit so light and open through everything?
My mother. Everything centers around my mother. She and you're right, the heartaches, the ups and downs. Recently out of a abused relationship for 13 years, and I mean recently out of it, and I still want to live. I still want to love. So my mother had instilled in me that one, never give up on life. Never give up on living, never give up on love, never give up on hope, because that's the God in me. The God in me would not allow me to give up. That's not from him. So because of that, I'm still gonna share my love. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna give it to somebody gonna get this love that I got right here. Whether it's you, whether it's my daughters, my grandson, or my next husband, somebody gonna get my love, or my friends. Somebody's gonna get it, or some student. You're gonna get this love, because I can't control it. I cannot. I have said that, you know what, my next relationship, I'm not gonna be open. I'm not going to be willing to get to know somebody or let somebody into me. But that wouldn't be me. I would be miserable. So I can't do that. So if you lose out on this love, that's your loss, not mine. So that's just what has been my mindset. I'm going to give this love away. And unfortunately, if you want to take it and receive it, then that's what I hope you do. But if you choose not to, so be it.
Ah, yes. So much wisdom, so much effortless wisdom. I mean, what else is there to say? I think that is just so beautiful. And we have to keep that. We have to keep that. Life has its ups and downs, but we can't let that bring us down. And you know what I mean? We've got to keep our light. And you really are an example of that. And just even this conversation is more affirmation that was the thing. Just talking to you when I initially met, I said, wow, she has got a really big heart. That's what we're going to talk about. That's the theme. And here we are. And it's just perfect. You're also getting a lot of shout outs here. So the love must be mutual, because the folks out there, we got Ronaldo Williams saying love to you, that you are amazing. And Pasha says they miss you all the way from Pennsylvania. I mean, you are just surrounded by love in this chat today. So I love that. Now, let me see here. I know that we talked about potentially playing a game. And as we talked about, your daughters are out, saving the world, really. All of them in one way or the other. Mm-hmm. Educator, 911 operator, paramedic. I do think we have one here that is in the chat that we'll play a little game. Why not? We have the time. We're going to play a little game. And this game is all about you, because you pour out into so many people. And so now we want to focus on you, Miss Hill. And it's how well do you know your mom? Oh, and there too. Yes, your other daughter is here as well. Great. Oh, the game is on. So right now we're going to promote Beverly, Holiday, and Anise. We're going to promote them to panelists. So they are going to join us on camera, and they're going to play a game, the Pearls and Pocketbook pop-up show. So this is our Pearls and Pocketbooks pop-up show. We've got a slide here. Welcome to the Pearls and Pocketbooks pop-up show. All right. We will take the screen down. Welcome to the game. Hello, welcome. Nice to see y'all. Shouts out to Renee, who is out literally saving lives right now. Renee, thank you. You are here in spirit playing this game. I'm sure that you would be a great contender out there, so we don't want to leave anyone out. But we're going to play How Well Do You Know Your Mom? All right, let's see. So basically, I'm going to throw out a question. Some of these do have 2 acceptable answers. These were all provided by your mom ahead of time. And you're just gonna blurt out whoever is first to yell out the right answer will be considered the person that gets that point, so to speak. So first question, are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. What is your mother's, what is your mother's favorite musical artist?
Mary J. Blige. I was about to say Mary J. Blige. Jill Scott, Whitney Houston.
Okay.
You don't know. Anise is too young. She doesn't know.
So this is going to be a shocker.
Wait a minute. Give them a music genre. Maybe they'll.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to guide you all because your mom has vast musical taste.
Mm-hmm.
So who is your mother's favorite rapper?
LL Cool J.
Who?
LL Cool J. I don't know.
No, it's
Jeezy, Young Jeezy.
Young Jeezy.
Ding, ding, ding. You both get a point. Your mother's favorite rapper, someone guessed Cardi. Your mother's favorite rapper is Jeezy. Okay, yeah. So y'all are, both of you guys got a point here. All right, okay, they know you. What is your mother's favorite color?
Purple.
Wow. All right, well, we got to stump them somehow. What is your mother's favorite movie? Think long, think wrong.
Movie.
Movie.
He doesn't even watch TV like that.
What it start with?
If I give you this clue, sure, I'll give it to you.
The Temptations.
Good guess.
Lion King.
Miss Hill, you stumped them with this. What is your favorite movie?
The Notebook.
Oh my gosh. No. Oh.
Lie.
That's what she said. That's her favorite movie, y'all. All right, this one is kind of easy because we talked about it in the program. But what did your mom want to be when she grew up?
OBGYN.
OBGYN.
Yes. All right. I think we're pretty much neck and neck tied. What is your mom's favorite food?
Chicken.
Fried chicken. Fried chicken.
All right. Okay.
Papa.
Correct. This is gonna get you all. I don't know if you know this. If your mom could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be?
To see her mom in heaven.
Probably.
Okay, yes, great answer. Oh man, no, that was a great answer. Well, you get a point to that, but also this is a place you can buy a plane ticket to.
Africa.
Back to Jamaica.
Jamaica was fun.
Ms. Hill, correct answer?
Greece.
Oh yeah.
Greece. She wants to go to Greece. All right, let's see if you all get this one. What is your mother's favorite season?
The summer. She want to be a hot girl summer.
A hot girl summer because she hate the cold.
Yes.
Well,
that's not the
okay.
right answer.
Is that the correct answer, Ms. Hill?
Nope.
Maybe
Somebody said
fall because of like homecoming and stuff.
spring.
My allergies.
The beautiful thing is that you all are getting the same ones right and the same ones wrong. So this is great. They know you. What is it that your mom likes to do for fun?
Cook.
They both said cook.
But it's outside of cooking.
Okay, so in addition to?
Like going out to dance and stuff.
Ding, ding, that is correct. And here's the winning question. Now, this is gonna get you. Who is your mother's pride and joy?
Tristan. Me.
Ding, ding, ding. Yes, wow. I was wondering what you all were gonna say. That was so much fun. It looks like they know you very well.
Now that Tristan's here, she doesn't care.
Moms get like that with grandchildren. I just want to thank you. You all, this has been a ball. Ms. Hill, thank you so much for joining me. Beverly, Anise, thank you for being game to like come in here and play this game. For everybody that's out there watching, all of our supporters that watch every month, I just want to thank you. I have to give a special shout out to Nambi Kelly, to Rita Mitchell, Paris Nesbitt, Cassandra Brazil, all of you out there for your support. Our amazing Henrique Lazari, who is our engineer, who's putting together the slides and able to beam them in. Thank you so much to all of you all tuning in. Many of you have asked, well, how can I support? I wanna check this out. We need you to go to youtube.com/The Grandmother Project and click subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, The Grandmother Project. Super simple, follow us. And of course, be sure to share. If you have registered for this program, you are now on our email list. Finally, if you would like to donate and to help us continue to do these programs, we've got a special message that will follow this program. Ms. Hill, again, I want to just thank you so much. You have been amazing.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for my cousin that has put us together. Thank you for all my friends back home for tuning in. It's later there for them. So staying up to see this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to my children. And just thank you. My heart is full.
Yes, this has been a beautiful and just a perfect end cap to episode 11, Heart. Shouts out to Ivy, who says love from Fayetteville. For all of you out there, thank you again. We will see you at the end of next month. Bye-bye. Stay tuned for a special message about how you can support the Grandmother Project. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Supporting the Grandmother Project is easy. Simply go to www.grandmotherprojectseries.com and click Donate. You'll be directed to our PayPal page, where you can enter an amount to help support the creation of new episodes and content. Be sure to like and subscribe to our page on YouTube and follow us on social media. See you next month on the next Pearls and Pocketbooks.